Yeah, so this is my curriculum proposal pitch. With all that being said, basically it was made for Waukegan Community Church, our new members class. I've been doing an internship there for the past 3 years. And Pastor Obleton, as we can get into, he wanted to switch the new members class from 12 weeks to now, basically 4 weeks. So my proposal is going to be 6 weeks, of course, in correspondence to the curriculum development course with Dr. Merrill Hur. So with that being said, let's just get this underway. The meeting outline, it says essentially, I'm going to basically just point out the needs of the local church at WCC, majority Black church, 30 years old, and within a majority Black and brown community. How this new members curriculum could meet the needs. Beyond that, then I'm going to basically do the proposal aspect of it all. Talk about at the end project control and budget. And then, of course, at the end, hopefully you can think through your concerns, questions, or maybe negotiations as we work through this. New members class at WCC. Again, it's been my privilege to serve at WCC for the past, 3 years, really, since the second year of seminary for me. We're celebrating 30 years of a life. And even with, COVID and the present circumstances, we're trying to revitalize the church. I mean, just the amount of work we've put in since my time of being there at WCC is really amazing. As you announced, Pastor, in your last sermon series, basically we're going to move that 12-week new members class, which everyone complained about, to, a more condensed schedule. I mean, you were proposing 4 weeks for the four sermons you preached in that new sermon series. So, yeah, a condensed course load for a new members class could be very beneficial. Due to the pandemic, myself, Robert Rogers, Deacon Jackson, and myself, we really haven't been able to, administer the course like we used to at the church. But even with present circumstances, I'm thinking with this new outline, with the new course design, maybe we can do this course through Zoom. And we've had small groups meeting virtually as well. So I think there's a way to get this thing back on the road. Yeah, hopefully the goal, we can add new members and increase membership at WCC. A little bit about me. You've made me, head of your assimilation at WCC. So I think this new curriculum could help obtain that. And again, we're dealing with a lot, generational reconciliation, the pandemic, community development, cross-cultural engagement, trying to build relationships within the community. I mean, there's a lot of felt needs, and I think this curriculum can help address that. So, again, it's no longer going to be a 12-week course. It's going to be condensed. And I think that condensing will really help the younger generation. Because like you said, Pastor, they don't really need 12 weeks to cover all that information. A lot of that information, we could be handling that information ourselves. And I think it's kind of written with Generation Y and millennial needs in mind. We're trying to get a comprehensive Christian worldview while also preparing the participants to, really start to volunteer in the life of our local church. By the end of this course, the group of graduates should flow right into becoming their own small group within our church. So this is my proposal. This is a course description. This new members class is designed to help potential new members understand how WCC, a local church, is positioned to build up God's kingdom through living out and preaching the gospel within our community. Topics include understanding the gospel, living out the gospel, and servant leadership within our local church, in and outside the walls, of course, of our local church building. The course objectives. One, all graduates should know, believe, and be able to share the gospel message. Two, all the graduates should be prepared for a lifelong faithful ministry within the church and community for the sake of the kingdom of God. And three, all graduating members should be able to join a small group or become a small group of their own upon graduating. The objective is for potential new members to know the need for Christian community. That's really the thing. I think the beauty there is that, it's going to flow directly into what we do as a church. Basically, I think we're a church of a large Christian community with smaller, small groups making up that community. So hopefully the class should flow into, helping convert people, helping people to convert others, and then of course living out kingdom ethics, while also helping people to participate in Christian community. I think that's the main push of this new curriculum. Setting and duration. We're if when COVID lets up, Lord willing, it could be it's going to be that Sunday school for adults. But I did appreciate how it was always multi-generational. So within the class, you had grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, kids, grandkids, and they're all mixed into the Sunday classroom. I really appreciated how intergenerational it was. So it's going to be that Sunday school setting. Lord willing, we can go back to the conference room next to your office pastor. I really liked it because it was very andragogical, like circular table. We're all together, circular looking at each other. It's not lecture based. It's more discussion based as we interact with the material per lessons. And I'm thinking as well, like for the instructors, myself, Robert, and others, we could potentially stream these new lessons on Zoom, and the content could still be delivered, and we could have group discussion through Zoom, through breakout rooms. So I don't think this should just be restricted essentially just to in person only. I think this can work through online streaming platforms as well. So yeah, we meet in the conference room 9:15 a.m. to 10:15. We want to leave some time for debrief with the leadership team who's teaching the class, of course, to see how people are tracking with the material. And then, of course, we also want to basically, also talk about let the people bond with each other so that they actually do form a small group. Hopefully, we could provide coffee and breakfast items like we used to. I think that would help to incentivize people. And then two of the lessons, like one of the lessons at the end is to help people understand the importance of small group in terms of prayer and understanding the word of God, and pushing each other onto good works. And of course, I want them to also attend a small group so that they can see the efficacy of actually attending a small group. So that's kind of a part of it. So it's not just that 9:15 a.m. Slot. Basically, every once a month WCC has small groups. So people are gonna have to find a time to sign up and join a potential small group after church, and then attend that small group for an hour. So 5 Sunday morning classes, and then attend one small group after church. Basically, I could probably blow this up a little bit more, but the contents of the curriculum are here. Essentially, we're trying to cover. What are we trying to cover here? Let me see. There we go. Yeah, God, man, creation, and relationship with God, of course. That's understanding the Bible, understanding the Trinity, exploring the gospel and its implications, of course. The story of redemption. That's kind of like our old class where basically they learn, you know, how to read 66 books of the Bible, and now those all 66 books of the Bible go into the story of redemption. I want to go over like double reconciliation through Jesus Christ, being reconciled to God, and then of course, one another. I could bring it out into the context of America and talk about racial reconciliation as well. And then of course, church standing in the gap, helping people understand what the church is, why we're here, and how basically we are part of the body. So that's where we can introduce again the spiritual gifts inventory that we used to do in the last 12-week course, and do it again. And then basically lesson 5, learn about small groups, again discussing how do we study the Bible, hermeneutics. And then of course, after we study the Bible, of course, encourage people to get involved in group prayer, communal prayer within Christian community. And basically when they learned about it, that's the theory part in lesson 5. Lesson 6 is to actually attend a small group at WCC. And then Lord willing, they'll enjoy sharing a meal together. They'll enjoy Christian community itself, actually experiencing it on a Sunday morning, in the afternoon. And Lord willing, kind of like you said with the last 12-week course, the group of individuals going through this course together for new membership can, Lord willing, become their own small group. Deliverables. So basically, we're going to have lesson plans, handouts for the students, printables that they can fill in as we go through the 5 lesson plans. On the 5th, we same thing like used to do in the last class. We're going to have PowerPoint presentations, 5 of them, for the first 5 lessons, which are outlined here. So, lesson 1, story of redemption, double reconciliation, church standing in the gap, and then learn about small groups. All that could be, again, in PowerPoint form and handout form for, visual and, visual and learners who prefer to take notes. And then 6 lessons plans and objectives for the instructors. That way the instructors know where we're headed, with each lesson, what the course description is, and how to best achieve, the students learn. And then we can also the same supplementary material. I mean, I loved your 12-week course. I thought it was excellent. I thought it was comprehensive of a Christian worldview. We can continue to supplement that material if you want to add those handouts, those PowerPoints to what I already have. That would be great. And then we can still use the same spiritual inventory that Anne McCrory gives out that we check through to help people find their spiritual gifts if they need it, right? But essentially, I mean, this is all subject to change or debate. I'm fine with it. 3,500 for hours of just designing this whole thing, the lessons, the PowerPoints, all of it. And then 500 of management. So consulting, essentially. If you, Robert, or Deacon Reggie needs any, clarifications, I'm more than willing to do that. And again, just thank you for your time on this one. If you have any concerns or can think of any improvements, I'd love to hear them. And then beyond that, thanks for your attention, and Lord willing, we can get back to, new members class, even with present times. Thank you for your time.